Hey, hi, hello everybody. I'm Malika Andrews, joined by NBA champ Kendrick Perkins and two-time WNBA All-Star Chiney Ogwumike, Woj, Zach Lowe, Ramona Shelburne. They are all stopping by, but there's a lot to unpack today, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll begin with the defending champs taking on LaMelo Ball and the Hornets. Let's go to Milwaukee. All right, as I mentioned, it was LaMelo, it was Giannis, it was all the smoke. There they are, the two stars. But let's fast forward, Chiney, to the second corner where the Hornets are up.
Ooh,
my
nice alley-oop.
Goodness. It's not often that you put Giannis Antetokounmpo on a poster. That makes a poster, right, Perk?
It does. But look at this play right here. Ooh, ooh.
And it also isn't often that you knock down Drew Holiday, an elite defender. So this was a back and forth game. Look at LaMelo.
Step through pass, extra pass. Beautiful. Oubre. Wait, Papi.
Let's go ahead to the fourth quarter. You guys, DeMarcus Cousins. He made his Bucks debut in the fourth quarter. Grayson Allen. He kicks it back out to DeMarcus in the corner. People forget he can shoot like this, Perk.
Look, Boogie is getting down. I'm so happy for Boogie.
Get down, Boogie. I like that.
We'll talk more about Boogie a little bit later, but LaMelo in the clutch, Chiney.
That was a story of, almost the second half until Giannis had his way, but realistically, it's hard to stop this. Nice spin move right under the rim. That's automatic.
That's what I do to my sons in the driveway. It's called daddy ball.
That's what I do to you, Perk, all day. Hey!
But this is what LaMelo does. Bang.
Man, that's tough.
Ties the game, 5 seconds left. So look at this. Giannis driving all the way to the basket, finishes
with
that
the left hand.
That's a nice stuff.
That would end up, despite this half-court heave, which was actually a pretty good look, sealing the game. Giannis had, get this, 40 points, 12 rebounds. They did a little bit of a jersey swap. Giannis actually has an incredibly impressive jersey selection. But here's him after the game.
I knew in the position I was, there was two things I could do. It's or throw a floater up or try to sneak it in. And when you try to sneak it in, you got to put spin in. If you just go, just go normal, most likely you're going to get blocked. So you got to be sneaky with it. I'm getting old. I'm not able to dunk on people no more. So I got to be sneaky.
He's getting old at all of 26 years old. He once told me I was getting old. The reigning Finals MVP, he dropped 40, and he had that crafty little game winner. But LaMelo Ball, he had 36 points and the game-tying three. If it weren't for Giannis, it would have been a little bit of a different story. Specifically last night, not the collection of the whole season, Perk. Who were you more impressed by?
You know how I feel about LaMelo Ball. I said it yesterday. He's box office. Oh, there go my camera. He's box office. But I was more impressed by Giannis. They was down double figures, and he dominated in every fashion. A 40-piece wing dinner, how you like your Cajun rub or whatever, right? 12 biscuits on the side, that means rebounds, and he dished out 9 sides of honey. And look, when you look at Giannis in the go-ahead basket at the end, driving to the paint, you know what that showed me? That showed me growth. Because last year, Giannis wouldn't have done that. You know why? Because he would have been afraid to go to the free throw line. So when I'm looking at Giannis right now and I'm watching him take over that Batman role, the role that I said Chris Middleton had because he was the closer, and I apologize to you, Giannis, because you're proving me wrong. Now Giannis Antetokounmpo has taken another step, which is dangerous for the NBA.
But see, I differ because of the expectation. This is the man that we saw in the championship game go drop 50, so the expectation is gargantuan. I think LaMelo Ball really had the night, even though there was a loss, them being in playoff competition, not play-in competition. That's the type of team that he sort of built already in year 2. Career high, Perk, career high, 8 threes on the night, and that elite pro level game tying 3 that was incredible. So I'm looking at this game, I'm like, wow, this young man has arrived. It may not be as consistent as you would want it, especially from a top point guard, but the top point guard he's competing with is the best in the NBA, and that's what his talent sort of indicates. So I'm here for Giannis, but I think last night it showed us a lot about LaMelo as well.
Who got the win?
I mean, we know that.
So does this mean, Perk? Does this mean I know you had the shirt that had the Giannis and Chris? Does this mean you need to flip flop and get one with Giannis as Batman?
Yeah, I need to get one reprinted.
Okay,
it's fine. It's okay.
We'll work on that. We'll work on getting one reprinted. So let's go to some numbers here. With the win, the Bucks improved to 10-0 this season with their big 3 in the lineup. They only played 2 of their first 14 games together, but they've won 8 in a row since Chris Middleton returned after testing positive for COVID. So Chiney, how dangerous is is this team with their big three intact? Look at that number.
Look, they can easily, and I say easily given the circumstances that we're seeing currently, not forecasting that those change and people get healthier, but like right now you look at them and they could win a title based with that, with that big three. And
they did.
Yeah, and they did, and that's exactly, they can pick up exactly where they left off. I just like their identity on both ends. I know getting Boogie Cousins was important, especially with, maintaining that interior presence, both offensively and defensively, getting rebounds. But, Giannis is a defensive-minded player. Drew Holiday is a defensive-minded player. They have a whole team that is pretty much two-way, and I love that. And, just to keep going at you, Perk, Drew Holiday, LaMelo Ball, that was a tough matchup, and he had 36 career high. So that's all it was a little different night. But overall, this Bucks team, they were my favorites going into the year because you have no problems when you think about them, while there are problems surrounding a lot of teams in the NBA.
But Perk, are they the favorites in the East for you right now?
They are the favorites in the East, especially with no Kyrie Irving for the Brooklyn Nets. When you look at what Giannis is doing, okay? Look, I know right now I have Steph Curry as the front runner, and right now it fluctuates throughout the season about who's the best player in the NBA. But Giannis Antetokounmpo still has something to say about that. And when you look at the additions of a guy like Grayson Allen, and you look at the other guys that have had the experience of going through it, like the Phoenix Suns, but have won it, right? You look at Drew Holiday. You just mentioned Drew Holiday. Think about this. Not only was Drew Holiday a huge piece for the Bucks, but he turned around Team USA when he arrived. When he arrived, he arguably was the second best player on that team behind Kevin Durant. So right now, today, I'm picking the Milwaukee Bucks as the favorite to come out of the Eastern Conference. They're only 2 games behind the Brooklyn Nets for the #1 spot.
Well, as we talk about Milwaukee, we also need to talk about DeMarcus Cousins. Before we really dive into that, I do want to talk about today's news, another big Bucks man with Zach Lowe. So the Bucks say that Brook Lopez had back surgery and is out indefinitely. So I want to bring in Zach Lowe here if I could. Zach, I am curious. Is that something that the Bucks think is going to end his season?
Fix your face.
There's optimism around the situation. This is what I'll say. There's optimism around the situation that Brook Lopez will be able to return in the regular season before the playoffs. Obviously, you never know with back injuries. We've seen Serge Ibaka's back injury linger a long time, but right now there's optimism around the situation that Lopez could come back before the playoffs, and that's big because I agree with Perk and Shanae. Right now, they're the favorites to come out of the East, depending on what happens with Kyrie. I might even argue they're the favorites to win the championship, period, given that Golden State and Phoenix are going to have to play each other if they get to each other in the Western Conference. But to do that, and Perk knows this, to win 4 playoff series, you need every ingredient on your team. Sure, there are going to be series where maybe Brook Lopez isn't an ideal matchup for the other team, but they're going to be series where he's perfect. They need his rim protection and his size. You need everyone to win the whole thing.
Absolutely, and this has been something that's been lingering for Brook Lopez, right? Even before he's been out, since he played in that first opening game, and that was it this year. But even before that, right, when you looked at him on the sidelines, even in the playoffs in years past, you saw him with the protective gear around his back, icing it, putting heat on it in timeout. So hopefully this is the thing that makes it so that is no more and they can keep rolling, because the Bucks are rolling. And after the Bucks rolled last night, Giannis tweeted that was fun. He said, "Let's boogie." And as I mentioned earlier, Boogie made his debut with the Bucks. So Perk, you're a fellow big man. What does DeMarcus Cousins bring to this team, especially without Brook Lopez?
Hold on, Malika, before I answer your question. Zach Lowe got a new haircut. Did you see that? I see Zach with the little bootsy fade. I see you shining right now.
Goodness.
But look.
There it is.
Yeah, that's the little bootsy fade. Zach, if you don't know who little bootsy is,
He's
Google.
like, he's like carry on.
He's looking sharp.
Like carry on.